Beers will bring back certain memories for a lot of us. This one has a lot of camping memories for me, if you will. When I first started camping, Uncle Bear's Brewing was one of the local breweries that had all their cans and six packs readily available. Grocery stores, Total Wines, whatever. You could go there, and if you wanted a local beer, Uncle Bear's was among the Santans and the Four Peaks and the Husses. Those were like the four kind of beers you can get at the grocery store shelf. So we would get this as our treat to take camping, like a night beer, along with their West Coast IPA, which is called the Ocean Beach, and the Mandarin Wheat. So we'd kind of load up on Uncle Bear's to go camping, and that is my memory of kind of camping in the northern Arizona forest and bringing Uncle Bear's along. So this one is...
You were like 13, 12? When
yeah, right. Maybe, 10 years ago, so
right.
no. Barkley's Peanut Butter Cup Porter.
Barkley's the dog.
Barkley is this kind of cool black lab there on the
kind of their mascot.
It's their theme. It's about all the dogs.
A paw is their logo, right? Like a paw print. It's got to be Barkley's paw print.
And Barkley likes chocolate peanut butter cups. I mean, it's not good for dogs.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And the peanut butter part, right, is fine.
So I'm gonna go into this right. First of all, welcome, Arizona Craft Beer Reviews. Very excited to have you, Craig Goutier, back for another edition here. For me, there's one peanut butter chocolate beer in the world that just kind of reigns, and that's the peanut butter milk stout from Belching Beaver in California.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, this is a porter, not a stout. Slightly different, I believe, slightly different malt profile, and
there's a lot of people who debate that
Um,
stouts and porters are essentially the same.
Yeah, I think I don't know anything really, but I think there's a difference in the grains and the malts they use. But
okay.
I could be wrong. That being said, I'm interested in trying this because if it's not Belching Beaver's peanut butter milk stout, I'm skeptical.
Yeah, peanut butter can be hard to kind of recreate into a beer. There's some beers that do it really well, like the peanut butter variant of Bananarchy this past year from Oso.
Yeah.
Man, they nailed that one. They usually nailed the flavors of banana and chocolate really well, but they added peanut butter for the first time.
And peanut is such a strong flavor. You put peanut butter in a smoothie, and that's basically the flavor of the smoothie,
for
right?
Sure.
It's such an overpowering flavor that it really is like a balance. And the fact that they use peanut butter cups, like chocolate peanut butter cups, kind of builds like this, like the cup already has that balance, right, of chocolate and peanut butter. So maybe that they're using that to like help them not, overpower. But
the beer is definitely less sweet than you would think from the description in the name of the beer, and also the nose, which is powerful, and maybe a little less rich than you'd think.
Yeah.
The body's kind of thin.
Yeah.
For a beer that's called a, peanut butter chocolate porter.
Yeah.
I wonder if a little bit of lactose would,
thicken it up a little bit and make it creamier. I noticed that too, which you get a lot of the nose, like the aroma really kind of highlights this beer for me.
Right. To me, to not be too, what's the word I'm looking for? Constructive criticism.
Yeah, critical.
Thank you, Craig.
That's why we bring Craig on. He's the word guy here in the office.
There's almost like a tartness isn't the right word. There's like at the end there's like a back of the throat sort of like weird tartness that I'm not enjoying a whole lot.
It is more tart than you'd think.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned the lactose, and I think that's where like the milk, like peanut butter milk stouts are better because they bring that milkiness, that creaminess to the flavor, and I think that really adds to your chocolate because ultimately peanut butter cups are milk chocolate with
Right, right.
So if you once you add that creaminess, I think it gives it
Yeah.
a lot more depth of flavor.
But that's not the decision they decided to make.
Right.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a while. It
Yeah.
obviously is, found a niche.
Yeah.
Uncle Bear's has been doing these beers for a long time, like I mentioned in my camping story. So they've been around a long time. They have other popular beers, like we mentioned, Ocean Beach, Mandarin Wheat, Beach Bum IPA, which I think might be on the beer wall here somewhere, and the Mutts Nuts Dippa.
Mutts Nuts.
Yeah, great beer or dog-themed brewery out in the East Valley, kind of centered in Gilbert. And I mean, when you get a dog, you get a dog, you have to worry about its nuts.
I have another thought about
Spayed
this.
and neutered nitro stout.
That's right.
Yeah. I have another thought about this. You mentioned in a previous review that we did, you mentioned sort of a metallic flavor, and I'm getting that in this too. And I think, that along with like the lightness that you mentioned, the kind of the body was kind of lighter than you'd expect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, peanut butter milk stout or peanut butter chocolate, like you expect the heaviness. This is lighter, and that could be better too for things like camping and stuff because it's not sitting so heavy in your
Allows
stomach.
you to drink.
Yeah.
It allows you to drink more of it. So, maybe it is, they've made those decisions to make it a little more crushable and you can drink more of them.
Right.
Whereas, you're drinking a tall can of, peanut butter bananarchy. And
It's a
it's
one
like
and done.
one and done. Like
For
you
sure.
can't drink. You can't.
I mean, that's
crush.
almost a
first-
half and done.
Yeah, for sure.
When you first smell this, it seems like a one and done type beer because it smells rich. It's a lot less rich when you drink it.
Yeah, they've done a couple of different barrel-aged things that they'll release around Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
Okay.
those are worth getting in
Right.
and trying out because they experiment a little bit. It's not widely available like most barrel-aged stuff is.
Yeah. Uncle Bear's seems like a great brewery for people who are just getting into craft beer.
For sure.
Maybe not as intimidating as walking into like a Wren house where it's, small and they have all these like really interesting, different creative beers. They have, this is, like you said, it's easier to drink. It's maybe a beer that somebody who usually wouldn't pick a peanut butter porter could drink this and enjoy it and sort of like expand their palate into that. And so I think, if anything, Uncle Bear's might be a good place for people who aren't as into beer to kind of start.
A good gateway brewery for people getting into Arizona craft beer. Speaking of Arizona craft beer, we're going to be throwing out some awards.
It's an expert segue.
Trying to get us back
So
on mission here and promoting our awesome events coming up.
That's right.
Johan's really busy behind the scenes when he's not drinking beers with me and Craig.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Best Fest and Arizona Craft Beer Festival, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Best Fest coming up August 13th. That's our big celebration, our big party celebrating our Best of the Valley winners this year and previous years as well. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff like food, beer, spirits, cocktails. We're also going to have our best local royalty, Sicaria Seville, is going to be there. We're very excited to have her there. We're going to have hopefully some adult puppet shows, some R-rated puppet shows there.
Scavenger hunt.
Yeah, maybe a scavenger
Escape
hunt,
room.
escape room, a speakeasy that you'll have to try to figure out where that is. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun things, not your typical kind of vendor sort of like, oh, here's a flyer or whatever. There's going to be all kinds of interactive opportunities. Arizona Humane Society is going to be there with adoptable puppies, so you can go play with some puppies while drinking some beer and eating some burgers, and it's going to be really fun. So we're doing that August 13th. To check out azbestfest.com. And then obviously, Arizona Craft Beer Reviews. We are really gearing up and excited for the Arizona Craft Beer Awards and Festival, October 22nd out in Glendale. So you have to check out azcraftbeer.com for more information on that.
All right. So lots of great events, and we're going to finish up with our brand new segment of Name That Beer.
Name That Beer.
So I forgot to get Dixie cups for this one. So if you guys want to pour that into here, I can give you a couple hints about this one. So same kind of style.
Pour it into here?
Oh, see, Johan always finishes his beer when we do these. I
don't know
usually have
what
to
it is.
save
I
mine
don't know what it
for
is. It's
the
like,
photo. And
You know, you grow up and your parents tell you got to finish what's on your plate.
Yeah.
I've kind of applied that to beer as well.
Get into my tummy. That's
Yeah,
his
I can't
personal
leave a
motto.
bar with like a half beer. I have to always finish my beer.
did they ever do their starving kids in China trick on you? Like, I mean, I know there's starving kids all over the world,
Yeah.
but like,
They're sober men in Russia.
yeah,
They may have
yeah, exactly, right? Drink your beer.
Unlikely.
There's somebody going without beer.
I
right
think
now.
they used a different region of the world.
Okay.
But, you know, similar.
Yeah, I always wondered why China always got singled out for having the only serving kids.
I mean,
Right,
I
right.
grew up in a family of you know, we were all born in Mexico. You know, big Mexican families and lots of food and lots of yelling and talking over each other and you
Overfeeding?
just finished
Lots of
your food.
overfeeding?
Yeah,
There you go.
lots of overfeeding. Yeah.
So,
But there's enough, you know, hot spices in the food to burn all that extra calories
Sure, yeah,
off.
get your
There's-
metabolism
the-
going.
there's also there's never
So-
starving kids here at Phoenix Mag because we get lunch dropped off all the
Yeah,
time.
and there's no kids here. So.
Is it blonde ale, man?
So yeah, obviously
Kolsch,
thick,
I believe.
like motor oil, right? I didn't serve you motor oil
we
here.
doing,
So it's a same kind of it's a stout.
Beer
It's not a
have
porter.
fingers? No.
That one's a lot thicker than the one we just tried. This one is a coffee stout from a local brewery.
My stout
see if you can-
knowledge is not as stout as it is for other styles.
It is the flagship stout, so I'm not
I
going
was trying to pay
surprise
attention
you.
to what I was drinking, and instead was distracted by that
My pun,
perfect
yeah.
pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no guesses.
What do you guys think?
So here's the challenge. Coffee stouts, good coffee stouts, are to me a pretty standard flavor, unless you're adding a additive like banana or peanut
Yeah.
butter or whatever. A coffee stout, if you're doing it right, is going to pretty much taste the same from brewery to brewery, in my opinion. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I could be wrong about everything, really. But so it's hard to pinpoint like
Sure.
a brewery because
You know
there's
that
no
one
additive.
from that one
There's
for
no
sure.
additive,
Yeah.
right? Like if it was banana, I'd probably guess Bananarchy.
Yep.
It also doesn't
Yeah, there's
taste
no
super
boozy,
heavy.
yeah.
It's not super boozy, so it's definitely not an imperial stout.
I'm just
Nope.
going to go with the best known stouts. What's that place on Camelback that's near us, down the street? They do the
Oh,
brewing.
Sunup,
Sunup.
the White Russian. Now
Yeah.
that is a imperial stout.
Right, but this is not a White Russian.
No,
It's a
and that
lot
one only comes in the 12-ounce
Yeah,
cans.
yeah, yeah.
So this one, I'll give you a hint. It is when do you think of when you have coffee? What time of day generally?
Morning.
Yeah, morning, right?
Is it BRI? Morning
It is.
sex?
It is. There you go. Johan knows his beer names. Morning
Oh,
Sex
yeah.
from BRI. Nice job.
Dude, I'm very excited about that.
The coffee milk stout, brewed with Peixoto. Another one of our Best of the Valley mentions there.
Yeah, it is
Peixoto
nice.
does great stuff, and they helped out with the coffee portion of this coffee milk stout from the Beer Research Institute, 5.8%.
This is a solid beer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, again, it's nothing over the top, there's no fluff to this. It's just a stout with coffee. It's
Nice body to it.
really nice, yeah.
Yeah, when I
Really
mid-
well done.
Make medium body.
When I poured that had the kind of head and flow that you would think a stout would
Right.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Thick.
And it's one of those, I think it's one of those styles that it's fun when people do like extra things with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also one of those styles that just stands really strong just on its own.
What makes it a milk stout? The lactose? Just a little bit of,
Yeah, so
Remember that place near ASU back in the day? It was a brew pub, and it was an early brew pub, and they had a milk stout. This is the first one I ever had. It was right there near the stadium, and eventually it was on the ground floor of a larger building.
Yeah, that place I guess, building has changed names so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
times.
What was that place called?
I can't remember the name of it.
are you
because-
talking
right.
about the one that was on Apache?
No, it's right across from the stadium. People would leave there at halftime and
Yeah,
go hang out and drink pound beers and then go back to the football
Yeah,
game
that's great.
in the second half. Or they just hang out if it was a
Yeah.
bad game.
I love bringing something up. I don't have a name for it or any useful detail.
Hey, it goes well with the beer part of things, you know.
Yeah, right.
We're just, you know, we're
I can picture the place in my head.
Me too.
Definitely. I didn't know they did their own beer though.
Oh yeah, they
that
had like
place.
3 or 4 beers on tap. The milk stout
Okay.
was their signature.
Okay.
But whatever it was called.
That could be a place that I'll put in the show notes when we
There you
post
go.
this. And
Yes.
we look forward to you guys watching our next beer review.
If we were
coming out
better
next
funded,
week.
we'd have research staff in the back with a mic'd up, and we could hear them.
Yeah. Just
My
feeding us.
research
We
is
work on that?
is on this paper since we're a printing. No, I'm just kidding. We do have computers here at Phoenix Magazine behind the scenes, so we will look into that. I'll post it. I can picture it in my mind exactly what you're talking about.
I know.
But it's changed hands. That place has been called so many different names.
I think they eventually destroyed the building. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Check us on the next episode, and we'll keep going into this beer wall.